Begin by separating your melon seeds from the melon fruit itself. Keep them separate from the melon and the melon's flesh. As you can see, I placed mine in a jar once I threw away the remnants of the melon. This melon was bought at a local grocery store, and that's what I will be teaching you guys today. This is how you begin growing cantaloupe using the seedlings from your store-bought cantaloupe. Doesn't matter whether you purchase your cantaloupe from a market or a convenience store. Any melon from any location will work for these very easy steps that I will thoroughly explain to you all today. So join me as I show you how to begin growing your own cantaloupe. As long as you have a melon that has produced its own seedlings, then you are in good shape to begin the very first step in this whole process, which is, of course, eating the melon. Once you are finished consuming all that your melon has to give for you, make sure you and whomever you are enjoying your cantaloupe with is aware that you want to keep as many seeds as possible from this melon. That way, everyone's effort together will be able to produce enough seed to increase your chances of a seed sprouting. Sprouting is what we are aiming for when it comes to separating the seeds, because after they are separated and washed off, then we will begin the germination process. Like I pointed out, inside of my glass jar is where we have managed to collect the seeds that you see on screen. It made so much easier to wash them off this way. Once they were rinsed off, I tried to pat them down with a paper towel before I put them in a jar to try and remove more of the cantaloupe guts attached to most of them. This will help to reduce the risk of rotting while your plant is beginning its attempt towards life. Having dead gunk lying around you doesn't necessarily support growth and development in any way, shape, or form. Rotting fruit laying next to healthy fruit will eventually cause it to begin to rot as well. You do not want that, especially whenever trying to germinate. Which is essentially the very first steps in the whole photosynthesis process. Once they have been cleaned as much as possible, please note that you will not get all of the guts or cantaloupe flesh completely off of the seeds. If you do, I applaud you, because I did not. Now you will need a flat surface or table-like mechanism to perform this next task. A plastic bag as well as some water and, as pictured, coffee filters, but you can just use paper towels or napkins. Anything that absorbs water, like so, will do just fine. I just so happen to have a lot of spare filters laying around that I was not going to be putting to good use for making coffee, so I did it this way. Following that, begin by laying a paper towel out and begin placing seeds inside of them. You're going to want to make a few of these, so try not to place all of them in one paper towel. As I do this step, you will see me layering filters for extra hydration, because you are going to want to keep the seeds wet and wrapped up in your absorbent material the entire germination process. Once you have little paper towel or filter wads of wet seedlings, begin placing them into your translucent baggie. It has to be see-through to allow the sunlight in so it can begin the magical process of photosynthesis. After you have your wet napkins and seeds wrapped within the soggy wet clumps and they are all inside of your labeled sandwich baggie, allow them to sit in a location that receives direct sunlight 24 hours of the day. Leave them in that location night and day, but periodically check on them every now and then and add water if necessary. It shouldn't take anywhere from 4 to 8 days in order to see sprouting coming from your seedlings. If you can make out little string-like or root-like textures that was not there prior to our germination setup, then you more than likely have successfully completed the germination process from the seeds of your store-bought melon. Once you can see visible and obvious but stable sprouting from your seedlings, you will want to start next by prepping your soil. If you are new to my channel, then there will be a video located in the description with a link where I demonstrate how to make efficient planting soil. Go check that out before you watch any other content on this page. It is highly recommended. Once you have your pre-mixed soil, decide whether you are going to plant them in a container, a pot, the ground, a raised garden bed, or even a tacky recycled or upcycled container. Once you have decided, make sure to consider if the following method that I will be explaining today would be possible for your convenience. Consider, yes, you can just dig a hole, throw the seeds in them and bury them, and call it a day, and it could be just fine. But to ensure a healthy life for the plant and increase my chances of producing fruit, I recommend following my method, and that's by first planting your germinated seeds in starter pots or in a small pot in the first few weeks of life. I begin by gathering my starter pots and I begin unraveling the napkins where the seeds are located inside. Each napkin is ripped open and loose to fall down onto the soil inside of my pot that was disturbed and loosened up prior. After your soil is covering all your seeds you plan to grow inside that one pot you choose first, then set aside and fill up as many starter pots with as many seeds as your store-bought melon was able to pollinate for you, and continue doing that until all of your germinated seeds are into your potted soil. These video lessons will be 2-part series for each lesson given. The part 2 to this lesson will be published after the harvest, where we catch up on the care and the process of growing our cantaloupes. So consider subscribing if you enjoyed this content, and consider leaving a like or comment. The engagement I get the more I will be able to produce these types of videos for you guys. I hope everyone is well and hanging in out there. I am sending many good vibes to all of my supporters and future supporters. Until next time, peace.